Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today. Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
How you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good, man.
Good.
We had a pretty interesting week.
Mm-hmm.
We got new music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Spring is here.
Spring is, we're less than 30 days away. I counted the other day.
Spring is here.
Yeah.
We're 40 days away from WrestleMania, so you know.
Oh yeah.
That.
Yeah.
As today's recording today was Elimination Chamber in Australia. Great production. Shout out to Triple H. That was good.
How you feeling about the whole Rock and Cody thing right now?
At first it was confusing, but I mean in wrestling, like, you know, you have to like
just
pivot. You have to pivot things. So I think that they were trying to find the footing, and obviously The Rock is like the biggest star that they can get. Well, he's the biggest star like that could actively still wrestle. Stone Cold Steve Austin can't wrestle. Hulk Hogan damn sure can't wrestle.
Yeah. And
like, you know, they want to compete with events like the Super Bowl and NBA Finals and the MLB World Series and the Stanley Cup. I know that sounds like very like that sounds very ambitious, but like that's
the goal.
That's
right?
The goal, right?
Yeah.
So, and they just made this big deal with Endeavor TKO. So they had to make like the biggest play possible, but like through the strength of the fans kind of basically said like, we just cool with The Rock just showing up. Like,
yeah.
No, nigga, like Cody has a story.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and Rock came in and he's just doing his thing. So what I found interesting though is that, like you said, The Rock is like a really, really big commodity. So like him coming is kind of throwing things off a little bit because the fans are happy, but it's like he don't want them to be because he's supposed to be the heel.
Right.
So even in the crowd work, they'll be cheering him on and then he'll insult somebody to try to get them to boo him.
Because it's like the fans, we love The Rock, but we just, bro, just chill. Like, we wanted you to fight Roman like 2 years ago. Like, yo, be easy, because the thing is that we all know wrestling is scripted, right? It's predetermined, but we don't want to like be in on it that much.
Yeah.
So if The Rock comes in and beats Roman Reigns, we know that he ain't gonna like be around for much longer. Roman Reigns is barely there as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we just want to like.
And Roman has had the title for how long now? It's been.
It'll be 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, almost. I like soon. So
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's just like, yo, like, just let these two dudes finish this shit, Rock, and you can come and do your match, and we know you're gonna leave and go and do all the 20 million.
Yeah, and he's gonna leave with the belt.
Yeah, so
niggas know that he's not just gonna show up to lose.
Yeah, so it's like it's just little integral things that the fans want. But The Rock, I think that The Rock turning heel, that's a bad guy for those who are in the know.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's great. I thought it was pretty dope how he kind of combined two eras. Like he combined the Versace shirt wearing Rock with the leather vest Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
Combined both of them and, had on the Versace vest.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope. But The Rock got to find his footing though, because
I just thought he turned it into a vest because his arms are too fucking big now. That was my first thought.
That's a possibility too. But the one problem, and I think a lot of fans' problem is that like The Rock, he's known for like his mic skills. But like now, like he's very rusty and it's like apparent. But like you would think he would just be able to turn it on like that.
Yeah.
But like even like when he's going through like his stuff, it's just like, damn, that was kind of corny.
Yeah.
And it's like throwing people off. And it's funny because seeing like casual fans be like, oh shit, The Rock is on, and like they're watching because they love The Rock. They're like, I'll watch anything with The Rock. And like seeing him kind of like
shake the cobwebs off.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of like painful, but like I guess him being a full on heel is helpful because he can just throw out insults and he can say random funny.
Yeah, like the shut up before I slap the herpes off your lip. That shit was funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like saying that in Utah everybody are inbreeders.
Yeah.
Like things like that. So that makes
So
that's what's going on with that. I'm going to Philly for WrestleMania 40. Me and my girl Sarah, like we had, like that whole weekend is like set. I'm probably gonna come back like extremely tired. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. No, not probably. I am.
When is this again?
The weekend of April the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Okay. Okay.
So that's that, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about music right now.
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole gave us a teaser, and he let us know that the fall off is coming.
Mm-hmm.
In the snippet, he's rapping, and he said that he alluded to the fact that this project would be like if Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt last.
That was a good line. That was a good line.
Right?
Raises the stakes.
It raises the stakes, but it puts him that, I mean, I'm not mad at it. It just sets the expectations like
that's where you want it though. That's where you want it. Yeah. Especially if it's your last album.
Yeah.
Like he says it is. And I believe him. I believe that it's his last album.
I don't.
But when you said
like Ric Flair, bro.
That's true. But I think with Cole is such a recluse in a sense that like I just believe him when he says like, yeah, nah, this is my last shit.
I don't.
And we probably not gonna see him no more.
Rappers and wrestlers are very much alike. Wrestlers be saying they retire, and next thing you know, they come out and they do something. They come out, take some kind of bump.
Cause it's like, even as recluse as he is, I was surprised that he's on tour with Drake, like the biggest fucking rap star that we have.
That was all about it.
It's by design. Yeah. And it's perfect segue into him and his album coming out.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I have thoughts. I've come to the realization that, and some people might say this is black, but I come to the realization that Drake and Kendrick kind of like have like plateaued. And not because like they can't get better, but out of boredom. They've reached heights and got recognition to the point where like they just like now like they're bored with rap.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to the albums, like obviously like they rap, but like they don't give us. They're like artistically they want to be challenged. They want to do something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is crazy is that J. Cole is still hungry, and because like the way he came into the rap game, like, you know, he was kind of like always like overlooked, even though like his fan base is extremely loyal to him. But J. Cole has only gotten better and hungrier as a rapper, and it's worked in his favor.
Yeah.
Because now, arguably, of the three, you can argue that he's the best of the three.
Yeah. And I remember even a few months ago, we had that topic, and I think it was with Quincy. Shout out to Quincy. And we were naming the best rapper of the three between Drake, Kendrick, and Cole, which is like the three-headed monster, right? Mm-hmm. And I was saying at that time frame that it was Kendrick because of the capability and not because of the output. But it kind of cancels each other out. You can't really rank the credibility with the output when there's no output. And I think Cole has stayed like Cole, thanks to these and I was just bringing that up to walk back my original point. I think Cole is the better rapper right now. And I think he's found the fun in it because he's having fun chewing these young niggas up. That's the fun part.
He basically hasn't put himself in an era where he's above it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not above an ass whoop, giving out an ass whoop.
Mm-hmm.
So it just made me like think like, damn, like, wow, like you know, everybody used to make the jokes, yo, J. Cole put you to sleep, he's NyQuil, this and that. He only raps about losing his virginity.
Everybody made the jokes, even Metro.
Yeah, even Metro. And like and now everybody's like, yo, man, Cole is cold. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like it's like how do I say it? It's like Kendrick and Drake kind of like went to the league straight out of high school, where J. Cole went to college and was like a star player in college.
Yeah.
Came into the league, paid his dues, and now he's becoming a man. Like everybody has like a different journey. It's just like in football, you have Rob Gronkowski who came into the NFL at 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had a great career with the Patriots, right? Recognized as one of the best tight ends of all time. Then you have Travis Kelce, who had like sort of like redshirt a couple seasons, and then he got drafted when he was 24. But they're the same age. So Travis Kelce is still playing now, right? And is only going to get better, and he's on his third Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm just saying is just that like you can be, you guys can like take like different routes to get there. Some people like get it earlier, and some people get it later.
Yeah. So
I think with J. Cole right now, like he's getting it later. And I also think, and I could be wrong, but I think that Drake and Kendrick, they're both his friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're okay with him having his moment.
I think they're okay with that.
Yeah,
because they're in different places.
Yeah,
they're in different places.
They're bored. With, like Cole. Like Cole is like gaining, but I also think that of them, like I think Kendrick has like grown. I think like because of him traveling outside of Compton.
Yeah,
certain things just don't matter to him that used to matter.
And Drake, they're just on different level playing fields. Like Drake can't be what Drake wants to be if he stayed in Cole's lane.
Yeah, exactly.
He just
Drake is the biggest star, right?
And that's what he wants.
And that's what he wants, right? And that's cool. J. Cole wants to be the deadliest MC. He wants to be the boogeyman. And I think that he's accomplishing that. And I think that with this project and the anticipation around it and like how everybody reacts to it, I think that like he's finally getting his just due. Like I remember the first time seeing J. Cole, he was on the cover of the Source magazine, and it was when he got signed to Roc Nation, and they were saying that he was next. And a lot of people like were giving him praise. Mark Pitts was his manager. Mark Pitts used to manage Biggie. It was like all of these things, like signed to Jay-Z's label, managed by Biggie's old manager. Like it was just all of these things. He went to college in Queens from North Carolina. Like everything, it was like this storybook, like kind of like thing for him. And
do you think, I'll ask you this before we move on. Do you think Jay-Z has any regret for not giving Cole the recognition that he deserved back then?
I think that he does get Cole a recognition. I think he does it in private. I don't think he regrets it because I think that he gives Cole a recognition. Even when for Born Center when J. Cole didn't win Rap Album of the Year, like Jay-Z told him like you already won, like you know you got a #1 record. Like I think that they have a very private relationship. I don't know why it's so private, but I don't
especially compared to the other artists that have been in the bubble of Jay-Z.
I think Jay-Z didn't want to put that on him.
But that's the thing though, like Jay-Z he has a close relationship with Meek. Publicly, he has a close relationship with, like, you know what I mean? So it's like different people. So I would just imagine that he would want something like that, you know?
I also think, and I could be wrong, but I think that somebody like Meek kind of like is exciting to him. He's a street dude, and it's kind of like reminds him of his younger self. Whereas like J. Cole, I think he just respects him as an artist and knows he's talented. And Jay is probably just like, when the time is right. And maybe this project is the time for them to like, you know what I'm saying, finally.
Maybe he'll be on it, right? That'll be cool.
You know, I hope.
That'd be crazy.
What I hope, and I need J. Cole to run this sample back of Jay-Z being interviewed saying like, yo, the person that's going to take me out is at home eating his bowl of cereal.
Oh yeah,
like you know,
he did that.
J. Cole already used it.
He did that. Yeah,
but I need J. Cole to run it back, and like that be something like I just feel like it's in wrestling. We're going back to wrestling. It's called long term booking.
Yeah,
be patient.
Okay,
I think we'll get the payoff.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. But that would be crazy.
Okay.
But for a transition here, right? Well, unless you had something else.
I had something else I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay, Beyonce venturing in the country. How do you feel about that?
So I know you're a big fan of country music. I'm not so much. I'm not a big country music fan. I'm into storytelling, so I do get the storytelling aspect and how it can be great, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I know Beyonce is amazing at rollouts, so I want to see how she rolls this out. If Dolly Parton is part of this, that's going to be big. That's going to be really big. I think Dolly sent out a tweet, or her handlers, whatever, sent out a tweet about her the other day about Beyonce. Right?
Yeah. I think it's great that she's Beyonce's from the South. Country music is like in a thing from the South.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, because I wanted to understand why there's backlash, right? Like, why do people feel this way? And it's two reasons. One reason is that she's viewed from country music as a pop star. So it's kind of like how we would look at it. Country music is looking at Beyonce the way that we looked at Miley Cyrus.
Okay. Yeah.
So even though I'm aware that
the talent levels are not the same.
That's one. And two, I understand that Black culture created country music. Like the banjo, like which is like a very like main part of country music, is something that was created by Black people. I'm aware of that. But unfortunately, white people took it over, so they feel like it's theirs. So Christopher Columbus shit. I get it. but they feel like Beyonce is stepping into their space, into something that they have, and like she doesn't care about the culture, or she doesn't care about the tradition of country music, right? So that's what I've gathered.
You think Keith Urban is at home like, man, this is fucking ridiculous?
No, not Keith Urban. You want to know what's funny? So to my understanding, it's not like country artists like Garth Brooks, Keith Urban, like, Reba McEntire, Shania Twain, like none of those artists really give a fuck. Like they're like, yo, we fuck with Beyonce, like we respect her. Apparently, the country music community is upset, one, because she performed with the Dixie Chicks, and the Dixie Chicks kind of said that everybody in country music is racist, and they didn't fuck with George Bush, right? And like they were like really mad about that because George Bush is like Jesus to Republicans and a lot of people in the South, he's from Texas, all of that stuff. Good old boy. That's one thing. She performed with them in the Country Music Awards. And then two, a lot of people, for some odd reason, like they make everything a political thing, and they feel like because she endorsed Obama and like they're huge like supporters of the Democratic Party, that they feel like Beyonce's trying to sway voters with her music. And it's like, yo, it's not that deep. Like she just want to make a country album. Like she's not trying to get people to vote because they like her album.
Yeah.
So, and hearing that, I just realized like there's just like a huge disconnect.
There is.
And like, I don't, and it's crazy because like, even if you say, yo, like she just want to make music, they're like, nah, you don't get it. There's an agenda. There's a secret agenda. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's exhausting. And
I mean, even if there is, I don't think it's as simple as her just want to make music though. I think there's always something calculated, and she has some type of agenda. I don't know what it is, but she went into this album rollout planning with 3 acts, right? First act, dance music, but it all connects to her lineage. So like, I think the 3rd act, there was a rumor that it would be rock.
They said it would be a rock album or a Destiny's Child album.
I doubt it'd be Destiny's Child, but I can see the rock one.
I think we're going to get something with her and the Destiny's Child members.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll get like a song or two.
Yeah.
I would love to hear a rock album. Did you know, this is very north. I'm sorry. I always do this, guys. Did you know that Mariah Carey has a rock album that has never been released?
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've been trying to find it on the internet for a while. It's like, I'm trying to find it. Like,
interesting. But I wonder how that would sound.
I'm cool with Beyonce making a rock album. I think I like artists going into different genres. I'm cool with that. I think that a lot of people,
it's hard to digest sometimes.
I just feel like, yo, we get like, as for artists that we get like a lot of music from, I'm not mad at it. Like when people like try to like go into like different modes and do things or whatever like that. I'm not mad. I'm never mad at it. I always think like, okay, maybe they got bored. Maybe they got bored with this. Like I'm okay with it. And like we don't know. Like some people's like musical biology is like a lot, like runs a lot deeper than we know. And sometimes like they might just do like one thing. Like did you ever see the movie A Star Is Born?
Was it Lady Gaga? Yeah.
Remember how like she started out like she was like a folk singer, but then she turns to like a full-on pop star? Like that happens. Like I think that sometimes artists get pigeonholed into making one kind of music, and like you should just be allowed to do whatever you want. So.
I think there's a certain thing about that too, where it's like certain genres hit their ceiling, where it's like you can only do but so much.
Right.
So like that's why people like Usher are revered in the Black community, because yeah, he did a couple dance tracks, but for the most part, he's predominantly R&B. So that's like where his pocket is. I think with Beyonce, people tried to pigeonhole her and they wanted more R&B, myself included. I love Beyonce in the R&B field, but she's an artist. She's gonna try other shit. What do you think Bruno Mars's next era is gonna be? That nigga, he dips in and out. He's done like 70s, he's done 80s, he's done 90s.
Jack Swing.
And he gets a lot of shit for that too.
And he shouldn't. I think the next thing that he's gonna go into, I guess like, I think he's gonna go back to doing like the whole like rockabilly shit.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Like him going, I think he's gonna go back to like 1960s, like kind of like music and shit like that. I think he's gonna go back to his roots, his beginnings.
Yeah, that's typically what they do.
Yeah,
Back to the roots.
I see that, but like I said, I'm okay with artists doing something like different or like that's not what how they were introduced to us, whatever like that. As long as it's good. Like even as much shit as I gave Justin Timberlake, even though like the only song that I do like on the project is with Chris Stapleton, the fucking man, right? But I do think that like, you know, if you want to try something different, you should do it. Like you're an artist, like, you know, you're doing a lot. I just think that you just got to make sure it's good. And some artists, I think that they don't have like the proper guidance and everything like that. I hope that like Beyonce, if she's like doing this whole country music thing, that like she works with who she wants to. Cause I'm pretty sure she just sees people getting recognition and she's like, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Mary J. Blige tried it, but like it kind of like went under the radar. But like
what she tried?
The London session. She didn't try country.
Oh, yeah. She was just
all of Adele's producers.
Yeah, she was living in London at the time.
Then she worked with all of Adele's producers. Remember, I did an album review on that.
Yeah,
like, bro. And it was funny because apparently, like, it got leaked, like the entire album. Nobody even talked about it, and that's how I heard it early. And then I realized, like, oh shit, this album's not even out yet.
Yeah,
right. It was like a whole clusterfuck. But long story short, she stepped into. It wasn't even her stepping into another genre because basically, like, artists from London pretty much make soul music. Her, Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, like. But it was considered her stepping into another genre. She worked with these producers and it did nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, yo, where's the disconnect?
But she was smart to call it the London sessions because it detaches it from everything else.
Right. It does. But I'll be honest with you, I fucking love the London sessions.
Yes. I might have to revisit that.
Yeah, bro. Like it's just something that I just think about. Like artists sometimes aren't even given the ability to like just do something
and just try shit.
No, look, fuck that. Black artists are not allowed to do that. And I think I'm going to keep this short because I'm not going to keep going on and on. But this is why Kanye West like goes so hard to like not be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it long, but there's a reason why he goes so hard to like not continuously give us the rap album that we all want. We say we want the old Kanye.
Yeah, he just tries different shit. I get it.
Yeah. But, yeah.
We can get. So you want to get into the album? Or
let's get into the album.
Okay. So speaking of artists that kind of venture into different pockets to try different things, this MC that we're getting into today, he was 17 years old when this album came out, mixtape rather. So, and when this came out, I remember specifically how everyone felt about it. It was like, man, this is crazy. This is great. And everybody was giving him credit because he's 17 years old and he's tapping into a time that he wasn't even around for.
Right.
Fully.
He wasn't born until 96.
Yeah. But he brought so much of this throwback feel and it felt authentic to him. And we're talking about Joey Bada. Joey Bada and his debut mixtape, 1999. It was released June 12th, 2012. 1999 is a debut mixtape. Features production from Chuck Strangers, Lewis Parker, Lord Finesse, MF Doom, Jay Dilla, and much more. Played an integral part in Joey's rise as an MC. It was one of the most praised releases of the 2010s. Though he's consistently released quality project, this one still has yet to be overshadowed by a lot of his listeners still champion this and, you know, give him recognition for how far he's came as a rapper now and as an actor now. Do you remember when this album came out and were you one of the first to champion it or how'd you discover this one?
When it first came out, I kept hearing about Pro Era and the Beast Coast. And like, I was like, all right, let me check it out. I love boom bap rap. So, you know, I just checked it out and I was like blown away, like at how he was able to, cause you know, a lot of people try to like bring the nostalgia back or like revisit shit and it doesn't sound good, but it sounded fresh, even though like, you know, it was pretty much like the sounds that like I grew up like really enjoying and like my introduction to hip hop. So I was just really impressed with that. And I really was like curious to see like how he was going to keep that going. Like, was he going to make his thing, everything is going to be about the 90s or like keep trying to like recreate that because, you know, that's kind of like
it's a very small box.
It's a very small box.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that like, he was so young and he was just so like immersed in it. And like, you could tell like he knew his history. And, you know, that's why like, but also then like, I kind of like related to him a lot because like he had a young mom, and lo and behold, his mom went to fucking school with Mos Def and like and Talib Kweli in Brooklyn. So like it was just kind of like in him.
Yeah.
And I just think that learning about them, I was just like, where the fuck did they come from? Because it kind of seemed like Joey Badass just like you just heard about him. Like at first, like there was no music.
Yeah.
Like it was just like everybody just kept telling us how big of a deal Joey Badass was. And at this time, I was working at Soho and I was working at Club Monaco. And like I just couldn't, I was like, yo, what in the hell? Actually, no, I just stopped working at Club Monaco. Yeah, I just stopped working. James quit, and
shout out to Jamesy.
Shout out to Jamesy. Jamesy quit because they wouldn't give him the day off to go to Brunch Bounce. And I convinced them to let me go so I could still get unemployed.
Yeah,
fucking dope.
Yeah. Right? Damn, I remember that time frame.
So
crazy.
When this project dropped, I was just kind of like, where the fuck did he come from? And I know he wasn't an industry plant, but it was like he had the stamp. Like everybody was fucking with him and they was saying like, yo, this kid is next. And on top of that, he was 17, so he was getting Nas comparisons. He had the lyrical ability. He had the producers. Like it was kind of like a no brainer. And I was just thinking to myself like, yo, what's going to come? Because we also had other artists like on the horizon at that time. Like Good Kid, Mad City came out this year.
Yeah.
Right?
October this year.
Right. So I was just like very like curious to see because there was such a boom of like new music and everything like that. And then like I found myself comparing like Beast Coast to Our Future and ASAP Mob and like trying to see like, oh shit, like which crew is going to like.
Bro, and Rap Crews, Rap Crews was a really big thing around this time. Yeah. Like it was a resurgence of Rap Crews. You had ASAP Mob, you had Pro Era, you had Future, like all these niggas that like just clicked up, in a way that we hadn't seen in a while.
It was something special. Like I was like overwhelmed, but I was in a good way, like happy that we just had so much music.
We had a lot of shit. And I think what made Pro Era is still a bit of a mystery. I think a crew like this deserves a documentary because I think it's a lot of shit that people just know offhandedly, but a lot of it is credited to Steez, rest in peace.
Right.
And a lot of people don't really know much about this crew. People know Joey Badass, but it's like they're forgetting his roots.
Right. And it's funny because remember when Barack Obama's daughter was repping Pro Era because like she was a huge fan of them and she was like on that kind of time. That kind of like catapulted them into like the next strategy. Like that like kind of like pushed them further. And I think the reason why we didn't get to like Joey was kind of like the shining star, right? Like that the labels wanted. And they signed all of them and gave them deals, but I think that Capital Steez was like like Pro Era was his brainchild.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of in that ASAP Yams role.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
He could rap really well. ASAP Yams, the RZA kind of realm, but like he was like the mastermind of the group and he was the best rapper or MC that some people
he was showing Joey how to approach different beats and like how to rap on certain shit.
Right, exactly. And I don't think that Joey out raps him on any songs that they're on together either.
No. He fucking bodied him on Survival Tactics.
Yeah, Survival Tactics.
Yeah.
He out rapped him. But I think, and here's my theory. I think that Capital Steez was very advanced at their age, but I felt that it was kind of like with Absol where he was too smart for his own good, and I don't think that they could get him to dumb down what he was talking about. Versus with Joey was a little bit more marketable and easier to ask, hey Joe, you mind rapping about girls on this track?
Yeah. He was easier to like, I don't want to say control.
Yeah, not
like
control, but like just be like, hey, the label needs a love song. The label needs this. Like, I don't think Capital Steez would be the person that would be like, oh, sure. I think he would have been like, no, that's not the message.
That's not,
Like, he was more militant with what he was trying to get to the masses. And I think that he took everything like very, very personally and like he was very in tune with things. And I think like, he's just one of those people like you kind of can't mess with what they're trying with what that person is trying to do. And, with that being said, I think after Steez unfortunately passed away, I think that a lot of things that was like on the horizon, like Steez was the only person that kind of like had the blueprint to get them further. and the label really only cared about Joey.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like that's anybody's fault. Like that labels is just fucking shitty like that. And I think that's kind of like why, like, I think Joey tries his hardest to like, you know, do for his crew and everything like that, like put them on his projects. But without the coach, you know.
Yeah. And for the most part, that's how it goes in rap crews. Like rap crews get signed, but there's always one person that they're paying attention to.
Yep.
Like in the rap crew, where it's like, all right, we're gonna sign all of y'all because we see there's a loyalty thing between y'all, but it's only gonna be one of y'all niggas that we're gonna hone in on, you know?
Right, exactly. Like it just and it happens in so many different ways, but you know, that's where like that's just how the shit happens, man. I literally just sat here and tried to like think like of like a rap crew where like things worked out. I don't know the Juice Crews, I don't know the Juice Crew's like inner workings of when they were signed, but like the Juice Crew is the only rap crew that comes to mind for me. Oh, the Dungeon Family a little bit, but I think that the Juice Crew, and that was in the fucking 1980s. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they all had one deal on one label, but I know that they were a crew and they had multiple people that were successful.
Well, there's crews that have like dispersed and they still seem like they're cool. They just doing other shit like Our Future. Our Future seem like they still cool.
Our Future worked, and like most people were successful. And then I just thought about it. Dungeon Family is one. Does Rough Riders? I mean, well, yeah, they were crew and a label or whatever like that, right? So Rough Riders counts because, like, you know, X, The Locks, had like their success. Like, even Dragon had his own success in a way. Infrared went on to be like a prolific like ghostwriter. Really quick, speaking of damn, who did Joey? Damn, it just left me and I didn't write it down. Joey Badass ghost wrote for somebody and like it was actually like a really big deal. Now I gotta Google it. While I Google it, Rez, tell us more about the album.
Yeah, so like I said, this album came out and I think I was watching an interview actually recently with him and Rob Markman, and he was taught. Rob asked him, he was like, "Yo, like were you afraid?" Because this was 6 years removed from this coming out, and he was like, "Yo, were you afraid of like being pigeonholed of like having this specific sound?"
I heard that,
and he was like, "Nah, like I actually really fucked with that. I like that idea, but it's not until you try to grow as an artist that they try to harken back to how you were introduced."
Right.
So he didn't really feel it till later. I thought that was interesting because he didn't see it.
He was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And so you don't think outside of that. And then you realize like, wait a second, like, so I can't like make an album like Mac Miller or like this artist, like you still want me to do like, you know, like even like everything that he did was very intentional. Like the colors, like, you know what I'm saying? So like they use like the pants African colors, like for his logo and everything like that. Like it just, like, it was very like New York centric things that they did. And I found, so he co-wrote Rockstar Rock Post Malone.
Oh, so that's bread. He's set for life. That's like a diamond song.
Yeah. So you got to think about it. Like he's a Grammy winner. He was in
an
winner,
Oscar short. Yeah.
Oscar short. So like he's very like, I know a lot of people think that Joey Badass is like quiet, or they like, yo, like his music success isn't there, but like no, like he's kind of like the man. Like he's the man. Like he was on the show Bad Robot, like got great reviews and stuff like that. That Oscar short that he won for that I don't think like he was a part of the
he's a part of an Oscar winning short that was on Netflix.
Right. And then you know, he's on Power and I think he has like another project that's kind of like really like revered. But I just think that like Joey Badass is kind of like, you know, I like it's not as like vocalized, but like he kind of like is like up there like with Tyler as far as like getting like his recognition behind the scenes and getting
I agree. So for the album kicks off, or mixtape, however you want to reference it, but it kicks off with Summer Nights, which is a really great opener. I liked it a lot. But what I thought was interesting, he said this was actually the hardest song to write for him.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the last song he did. So he did the whole album, and then he realized he didn't have a song that he was comfortable with opening it. And he was like, all right, I need to actually record a song that's going to be the intro. And so that's how he came up with this song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that this was an amazing intro for the album. I think that like, you know, New York City summers are like some of like lore. I think that like if you've had the pleasure to spend a summer in New York City, like you are like blessed, like you like it's like a special club to like be in. So when I heard this, even back in 2012, I was like, damn, like this shit could have been on like on the score for like the movie Kids.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like the feeling that I got, and I've always
especially
like,
if you're listening to this looking at the album cover, like it just feels
that way.
Yeah.
It feels like Zoo York Supreme, like just like you know, it just feels New York. It just feels like New York, like and of those like 90s kids, like where it's like they like skateboard, but like they'll still like rob you and shit. Like it's just one of those kind of things. And I really like enjoyed this opener, and it was very intentional. And I'm glad that like he actually took his time to like make sure that like the first thing that we heard on this mixtape was this track. Very smart.
Yeah. Carries into Waves, which is some will recognize that J. Cole used the same beat for False Prophets. Yeah, for False Prophets it was. Really like this song. Joey actually borrowed it from Freddie Jochin. And that song came out maybe a year before this. So it's been kind of handed down 3 times, and they all used it in different ways, which is really fly.
Smart.
His flow toward the end, he says some shit. He goes, I'm hopeful that me spitting is soulful will have me in a daily postal, flying coastal, eating tofu. It was just, it just flow. It's such a 90s flow. So, you know?
I have thoughts.
Yeah.
The wordplay on this at 17 years old, bro. Like, I think that's like a perfect kind of like marriage for a lot of black rappers, right? You got Nas, you got Earl Sweatshirt, where in the recording process, like you're probably your imagination is probably at like its biggest.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you haven't like entered the real world yet. Like I know that Nas had a very like real world life living and growing up in Queens, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like you're still kind of like innocent to things. Like you haven't heard know that much. Like, you know, even if like you grow up poor, like you still have like an imagination because like the real world hasn't hit yet. So being 17 is like a very unique spot because it's like you're grown enough to like do a lot of things on your own, but you're also not you're not the legal drinking age or drinking age. Like certain things you can't do, and it just adult like your innocence isn't sucked away from you as an adult. So I think that like, you know, there's a significance to Joey being so lyrically advanced at a young age.
Yeah.
And it's like he really was able to like tap into his creativity and get down with the wordplay and storytelling and things like that. Because there's certain points on this album where like you're like, yo, this dude is really advanced and like he's very like aware of the world. And then there's certain parts where you're just like, yo, he's fucking immature.
Yeah.
Like he just
17.
He's just fucking 17.
Yeah.
Like when we get to the track, like I'll say like what I mean by that, but it's very funny to think about it that way.
I know the one you're talking about too. Because I think I wrote notes for that one. But yes, yeah, that song is amazing, and it leads into From the Tombs. Super 1992 referencing. Like it sounds like 1992. It sounds like a fucking Wu-Tang B-side.
Yeah.
Like Method Man would have bodied this.
Again, I got if the way I describe it is if RZA produced a track for a Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, that's actually a perfect analogy. And scratches from Static Select on here. It's just great, man. He used everybody to their highest potential on here, so far at least. And then you get into Survival Tactics. First track with Steez, not the last. Rest in peace to Steez. Steez actually, I was reading in an interview, he's the one that found this beat. Found this beat, gave it to Joey. Joey bodied it. He told him how he should approach it. And then Steez actually recorded his verse in one take. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, like, and you know, Joey, there's another interview where Joey said that he always was a leader until he met Steez. And he said that he was comfortable being led by Capital Steez because he was such a good leader.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot about, because it's like if you watch Joey Badass, you can tell he's very headstrong, very sure of himself, very confident man. And for him to like see so much in Capital Steez and say like, yo, this dude right here is somebody that I could follow and he can lead me to the promised land, which he did. And you got to think about it. Like all of this shit, like kind of like happened for them like fairly quickly. You know, I think they met when they was like 15. Yeah, high time they was 17. Yeah, fucking rappers like.
Yeah, they had a dope setup for sure. Oh, and this is actually an old Doom beat, that they use.
Yo, bro, that's another thing. Like sometimes, like I wonder, like, yo, if I was a nice enough rapper, I could get a fucking MF Doom beat.
Yeah,
on mixtape,
right? This one isn't it's from an old Doom song called Monkey Suit. So
even still,
yeah, and Steez
State not hit him up like season the fucking desist.
Yeah.
What are you?
I feel like, I guess in my imagination, it's just like Doom probably heard what they did on it and was like, yeah, y'all can rock with that. Like, yeah, I killed that. And then, yeah, man, it's crazy. And Steez is the one that put Joey on to Doom.
Right.
Yeah, he put him on the Doom.
Right. He put him on the Doom. He put him on the numerology. It was a lot of things that like Steez was into, because even like their logo, it looked like a swastika, but it was just like the number. What was his favorite number again? 47. So 47 over and over again looks like a swastika, but anyway you turn it, it's 47.
Yeah. That's fly.
You know, like that was his favorite number. Like, so that was like it was like a whole bunch of like eerie stuff around his death with that number as well. So
yeah. And then he doubles up with Steez again, Illuminati.
Smart. And
produced by Knowledge.
I think you wanna know what's funny? I think we all went through a period of going through like conspiracy theories. Because like I heard it and like I saw the name and I was just like, oh man, I remember when I like was like learning about the Illuminati and all of that stuff and just trying to find out find out like if there's really like secret societies or stuff like that, like of the world and everything like that. So when I saw the name, I was just like, interesting. Okay. I just wanted to Google and make sure I got number 47 right.
Oh yeah. Steez was infatuated with the number 47 and what it meant spiritually.
Believed that 47 was the perfect expression of balance in the world, representing the tension between the heart and the brain. 4th and 7th chakra, respectively. Yeah, he was into chakras.
Yeah,
that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was very deep into that. And like Joey Badass has it like tattooed on him big as hell.
Oh, the number 47?
Yeah, I think it's like on his ribs. Like because it was his first tattoo he ever got. So I think he got like tattooed like on his ribs or some shit like that.
Wow.
But yeah, like that, like numerology was like a big thing. And like, mind you, like you see how everybody reacts to like Kanye doing shit like that. Their logo looked like a fucking swastika.
Yeah.
But they said it got people to ask like, yo, is that? And like, it was number 47. Like
and he could put them on.
Yeah. Like that's how.
Interesting. But yeah, the Steez and Joey go back and forth on this Illuminati track and it's amazing. The competitive energy is dope. I think Steez even kicks off one of his verses saying something like, yo, you lucky I didn't go first type shit. Yeah, competitive energy was there, man. It's really great hearing them together like this.
And it is great. And it makes me sad because I'm just like, damn, like this guy was like this great artist. And I really got like the vibes that like Capital Steez reminds me of an East Coast version of Absol. And I really, really got that from him. And I'm just like, damn, man, like if he could have just, I wish he was still here with us, because like if he could have just like spoke to the right person, something like that, and like got a little bit further, man. Cause he was a very talented.
He was, man.
Like he was very, like he was just like far beyond his years, man. Like just very far beyond his years. But also, as Joey has said in interviews, like they did like a lot of drugs early on that they had access to because they were kids. And it's really funny because my stepbrother, little Gavin, like he told me that like, yeah, like there was like a lot of experimenting. And I was like, yo, when I was in high school, like I didn't even think about none of this shit. But it's like, I think that as generations came behind this.
Yeah, you're exposed to things a lot faster.
Yeah, so it was just certain things that like they would like that, you know, kids just were like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it or I'm gonna do it. And it's just like, me, like when I was in high school, all I wanted to do was play basketball. Like, I wanted to be, bro. Just like when I hear like these kids talking about all the drugs that they've done by a certain age and shit like that. I'm just always like, damn.
Yeah. Elsewhere on here, let's see. Okay. I don't want to skip over Penny Royal. Penny Royal it's a joint about heartbreak. It's another doom instrumental that he used. Right. Yeah.
Penny Royal is one of the songs where I was just like, all right, he don't know shit about shit. 17 years old, he's talking about like heartbreak and stuff like that. And you know, I appreciated like the attempt, and he did a really good job as far as a 17-year-old could do.
Yeah. It sounded like his flow was a little reminiscent of Eminem on here.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like some like old like Slim Shady type shit.
Trying.
Yeah.
I just like I said, I just felt like I just that was a lot of the low points, like when he like talking about like women on this project, because I was just like, he ain't experienced life yet, and I know like the amount of a 17-year-old boy talking about women is just like, it's just something I'm not interested in hearing.
Yeah.
You don't know shit about shit.
Yeah. Like you ain't even been there yet.
Yeah. So it's just like I just like turned me off.
What you think about Funky Holes? Because that follows it. Because it's like, you follow a song talking about heartbreak and all of this, and you being vulnerable, and then you transition to Funky Holes, and it's like, yo, yeah, fuck it. That's like a way to transition from heartache, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a 17-year-old making a track about what they like. Yeah, I'm like, and this is like me being older. Like when I heard it in 2012, I didn't even think none of this stuff. But listening to it now, 37-year-old, I'm like, yeah, man, I cringe.
Yeah, we're way past this now. Yeah. And then you got Daily Routine, which is like one of my highlights on here. I really like. I watched the interview that he did, and he said that this was the first song that he did that he didn't write anything down for. That's like the folklore that a lot of rappers do. It's just like, yeah, I didn't write anything. Like I just kind of thought about this song. But needless to say, the flow is effortless. The scheme is great. The chorus is amazing. It's a good song.
Daily Routine is a strong song. I couldn't. All right. So Daily Routine is a song that like, if I listen to this project, like I skip over it because it's such like I don't know. Like, I just don't like, I listen to it to remind myself of how good he is, but I don't listen to it like for enjoyment.
Interesting. Okay. Listen to it with a skill.
Yeah.
All right. Elsewhere you got Snakes, which is an old Dilla beat. Introspective look on like overcoming the temptations and like remaining focused and staying on the right path, and
Joey's big on that.
Yeah.
Like he's huge on like that, and like even like how he deals with women. I think like that's like adds to another level of like why women love him so much.
Yeah.
All the discipline that he shows and restraint that he shows with women and stuff like that.
He practices what's that shit called again? Where the
nigga don't nut.
Yeah. That's what that is. Like you fucking and you like, oh yeah, semen retention.
Yeah.
I think that is what it's called. You fucking and you like, when you about to get there, you like, all right, yeah, we done type shit, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's basically doing. You remember the episode of Seinfeld where George didn't come and he got smarter?
Yeah. and
Joey's doing,
bruh,
and it's like a control thing over women.
that's you got that, Blair. I can't. You got that.
Yo, man, and it's so funny.
I'm not there.
As kids, like, people will always like make jokes like, yo, dude is backed up, he's mad strong.
Yeah.
So right? Like, yo, Joey probably didn't hear them jokes.
Like, bro. And yo, have you seen his girl?
Yeah, follow her.
Oh my God. How could you not? All right. I mean, well,
yeah.
Hey, man. Hey. Oh, so yeah, Snakes follows up. Well, Don't Front follows Snakes. Really, and you can't make an ode to the 90s without doing a song like this.
Yeah.
I can hear Wale on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Don't Front like a lot. Like Don't Front is like a song that I might just play just cause, just to zone out.
Yeah. But then elsewhere, Righteous Mind is a great cleansing palette. You got like the balance of like good and evil on it. Um, you got some other like classic instrumentals that he borrows from here. He borrows Dilla. He borrows from Dilla on here a few times, and Where It's At is another one. Third eye shit, Suspect, which is that's so that closes it out. And funny enough, I was thinking when I was listening back, I'm like, yo, this never comes up in crew songs. When we talk about crew songs, this doesn't come up. I don't know why.
Good. I think it doesn't come up because like Pro Era they didn't really progress to like go anywhere.
Yeah, there's like, no distinction in Pro Era.
Because well, you got Pro Era and then you got the Beast Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's crazy because like Flatbush Zombies is a part of that group and that collective, and it's just like a thing where it's like they kind of just all went their separate ways, and you know, basically the glue was Steve's, and he wasn't around long enough because you think about it, like with ASAP Mob since Yamson's passed away, they're kind of separated as well. I just think that like at certain points, like there are certain people that's like the glue that kind of keeps everybody together, and when that person is removed, then everybody kind of just has like no reason to like stick together.
Yeah, they were the glue. Yeah, but that's true.
I just think that's the truth. Like, because I think if Steve's would have stayed around a little bit longer, well, a lot longer, I think that it will get recognized. But I'm definitely going to bring this up in Posse Cuts now.
Yeah,
just because it's like fresh in my memory. I'm just going to keep it there. Store it.
It's based on Suspects from Nas. Right. It was written. Which I thought was pretty cool. But let's see. Standouts on here. Let's get to that. So for me, Suspects, Daily Routine, Snakes, Pennyroyal, and Survival Tactics. What about you?
So for me, Survival Tactics, Hard Knock, Suspect, and Daily Routine stand out.
Okay. You want to get to ratings?
Yeah.
Okay. Kick it off.
Okay. I give it a 4 out of 5 waffles. There's not too much, like the only flaw, and it's like it's not his fault, like he's 17 years old. It's just that like there was certain, like there's certain, when he talks about the topic of women, like I don't care to hear it. And he hasn't experienced that much life yet, but it was just impressive to hear such a young person like come out the gate and like
rapping like this
and deliver. So that's why I'll give this mixtape 4 out of 5 waffles. Like it's not too much wrong with it. Like I said, it's just like, you know, like lack of experience.
Yeah. And I'd agree with you there. I could give it a 4. Originally I tied it to a 4.5, but I'm good with giving it a 4. Listening to it is a great experience, right? It's cool to listen to somebody that didn't really partake in the 90s like how he rapped about so passionately, but can rap in such detail and with passion, you know, and like pull from beats that are specifically from the 90s, like pulling from beats from Doom and Dilla and Lord Finesse to like make this album. It's like the boom bap version of Nostalgia Ultra. Like it's like in a sense, because he's revisiting all these classic tunes, you know, and putting his own feel on it. But also it's like an updated version because he's still his own artist. Like, you know, he's just revisiting it and putting his own spin on it.
I think, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just hope that, because, you know, I know we're talking about this project, but like, you know, we've got other projects from him, you know, now. And I just hope that he finds his like footing. I know that like he had, well, the project he was supposed to put out before the pandemic, like Puff, like had like a lot of input.
Oh, he did put out the album, but he's talking about 2000.
Yeah,
but 2000 was good. 2000 was good. You didn't like it? I like 2000.
Like I'm just trying to like, cause you know, Joey doesn't really like let us in like that. You know, Joey's like really into cars.
No, I didn't know that.
Like he has like a lot of interest. He don't really let us in. He's very like secretive, like private, and like his interviews, like it seems like people like the interviews are like mesmerized by him, men and women. And like, you know, it seems like he just like they respect him so much they don't want to ask so many invasive questions.
He just be chilling.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I just feel like I don't know enough about Joey Bada. I watch a lot of interviews about him, and it's like they really just keep it to the music with that man. Yeah, they really don't bother him that much.
He has a really nice tribute to Steve's on 2000. It's really, really nice.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
and you know, he's dealt with a lot of like death because even his cousin that became his manager died after Steve's. And so like I know he's dealt with like a lot of loss and everything like that. And the fact that like he's still going.
And he's still young, man. He's still so young.
I think he just turned 30, right?
Yeah. Super young. But we say all that to say, if you've been seeing Joey Bada on Power or all the little like side projects that he's been doing, not to diminish them, he actually got his start with this debut 1999. And I would say, as well as Taurian, I would say would recommend this. You know, if you're trying to get into Joey Bada, this is where to start, and kind of literally you could just lead your way up to like where his catalog is now, because it's a great starting point for where he is as an MC. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
We're out of here.
Catch you guys next time. Dun dun.